Good morning, everybody. Rural here, and we are going to have a morning chat. What are we going to talk about today? Let's talk about your personality. Each of us has our own unique individual personality. And it's fun if you've ever had children or grandchildren that, they're born and they're just trying to figure life out. And at a pretty young age, you start seeing that personality develop. Now, some things kind of change, some interests, or maybe they go through a phase here or there or whatnot, but the core of who they are doesn't really change, right? Uh, and so when you have a person, right? Let's say that you're a guy, and growing up, you were athletic and rough and tumble, and all throughout as you grew up in the different school ages, you continued on that, and maybe it grew stronger. You got out of school and you continued. Maybe you still met with the guys and played some football, or maybe there was a couple of bar skirmishes or something along those lines. You still stayed rough, tough, scrappy, all that stuff, and you're that rock hard, one of those kind of tough guy things. Okay. Well, maybe you're a female. Maybe you grew up with all brothers. Maybe there just wasn't certain aspects around life, and maybe it was just who you are, right? You grew up and you were very similar to what we was just talking about. You wasn't afraid of throwing hands, or doing any of the rough and tumble stuff, and you enjoyed it, and that's just kind of who you became. And you just as you grew up, continued and carried that on. You're one tough cookie. Okay, there's nothing wrong with being the tough guy or gal. The thing is, what happens if we need to turn that off? What happens if we need to take who we are and do a polar opposite, right? If we are one of those analytic people, right, we're good with numbers and paper, what happens when the situation calls and we need to flip the switch and become Mr. or Mrs. Tough Person? What happens if we're the tough person, but there's no threat or danger right now? Can we turn that off, right? Some of the, let's say, for an example, I was recently watching a video, and they were showing a local car chase. Happened, I don't know, maybe 20 miles from my house, and chasing this person down through, and person ended up smacking into a brick wall, and police get out. They have no idea what's going on, and guns drawn, yelling, shouting, show me your hands, show me your hands. They get up there and see these two people that were in the car. It's not good. Immediately, light switches flipped. We're going to get you help. It's over now. They went from one side to now it's the other side, right? And it was one of the things that spoke to me. We need to be able to do that, right? And that goes whether it is a SHTF situation or not. Sometimes we need to have empathy and sympathy, and sometimes we need to be able to calm down. Sometimes we need to ramp things up, right? Just because we're the tough person, and most of the people around us are tough people or whatnot, it doesn't necessarily mean that somebody's not going to experience a death in the family, or something along those lines, and they're just shook to the core. Well, an arm punch and a joke is maybe not the thing to snap them out of it. They actually need a friend. They need somebody to show them some support for a moment, right? Sometimes for a long moment. And we need to be able to read the room and read the situation, and be able to have that skill to where we can flip the switch and be who we need to be in that moment for the people that we love and care for. Sometimes we can't, right? Sometimes we are, as much as we want to, we can't flip it enough, right? We turn the dial, but we're not there. That's okay too, as long as you can be honest and realize that, and maybe go, I need you to kind of deal with this because I can't, right? Sometimes we want to force ourselves going, no, it's me, I've got to do it. Well, you can end up making things a lot worse. So sometimes we got to realize, as much as we want to, we got to tag out and let the best person for the job take over, especially in an SHTF situation, right? We don't want to make things worse. Just some things to think about. So I hope you guys have a great day, an amazing day, a blessed day. Stay tuned because there's more information to come with that. Remain united because we're all prepping in this together.